Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League and let's try out this team. So we're going to be trying out the Shadow Gligar with the Shadow Feraligatr and the Annihilape in the back. Not a great lead here, but we're going to try to catch a move. Our opponent here is patient with it and throws the eventual Hydro Cannon after building up to 2. We try to CAP tie them, but they are going to be able to win the CAP tie. We're going to shield here so that we can fire off our own Hydro Cannon here, because we at least want this Feraligatr low. They decide to stay in for now, and it looks like they try to farm us down, but unable to do that. They switch out into the Bastiodon. Bastiodon here is going to have to tank one Hydro Cannon, dealing roughly 40%. Then we're going to switch out immediately into the Annihilape because they are switch locked. They're going to have to fire off a move, ends up being the Flamethrower, does roughly 30%. And we do get the farm down, so we have a ton of energy, and they have the Talonflame in the back. Okay. Unfortunately, they did sneak in an extra Incinerate right there. Not that it really matters at the end of the day, but that was going to be costly. They do have the advantage because they have the Flame Charge to power up their attack, and they can survive this Aerial Ace here. So they're going to survive here, farm us down, and then come out with some energy to throw back at this Annihilape. They already have a move. We're going to shield here to see if we can get them to make a mistake. They do make a mistake, and we are able to come back and win with our Annihilape with the move and the Night Slash. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game off of some frame drops. We got that extra Incinerate that went through, and then they were able to make a mistake for us to win that game as well. All right, next game, let's see what we find. We got the Gligar versus the Bastiodon. Here we have kind of three things good against this. So we're going to switch out into the Feraligatr, see what they have in the back. Ends up being the Poliwrath. Poliwrath right here is going to tank this first move. We're going to be able to get to another Hydro Cannon really quickly. Potential shield here. We do grab that shield, so at least we get a shield. They go for the Icy Wind. Now, they did debuff us, but it did allow us to get them to Shadow Claw them a little bit extra. We know that they're going to be able to get to that Icy Wind. So we're going to switch into our Annihilape. Annihilape does have to shield that Scald. And now we have to make a decision. Are we going to go for the Nuke or the Bait? We decide to go for the Shadow Ball right here. Our opponent does end up throwing a move. We do shield right here. And then they do catch a move onto their Bastiodon. Bastiodon right here ends up tanking the Shadow Ball. And right here, we do decide to tank the move. We're going to try our best to do as much damage as possible here. We're going to build up to 2. We're going to go for this dig right here. This dig will take out the Bastiodon. Now we have energy to throw this Aerial Ace back at this Trevant. Will it KO from this range? No, and even one wing attack goes through. Their Trevant is able to survive, and then they're going to be able to throw that Seed Bomb. So GG's to our opponents. Their Trevant was just slightly better, able to survive the wing attack and the extra wing attack. Sorry, able to survive the Aerial Ace and survive the wing attack, and they were able to win the game. So our opponent here does switch out into the Lickitung. We do have the Annihilape for this Lickitung. We can decide to shield here and then come out with a good amount of energy. So we elect to shield once and then farm down. Now we have a ton of energy on the Annihilape. We know that we can win CAP versus most things. They come back in with their Annihilape. So we're going to fire off the Shadow Ball immediately, take out the Annihilape, and now we have this Skarmory to deal with. We're going to farm up to a potential Shadow Ball, throw the Night Slash bait. We do get the shield. We're going to be able to get to another Night Slash here. This is going to get some good chip damage, and then our opponent has to deal with 2 Pokemon. We're going to come back in here with the Gligar because we know that they're going to try to throw a move, and we potentially could get to a Dig right here. The Dig is just some chip damage because we either want this last shield or we're going to get some damage. We're going to switch out into the Feraligatr so they don't get any extra farm. And then we do shield the correct Brave Bird, and they decided GG's quit. So that game right there ended up on the hands of the Annihilape, able to gain a ton of energy and able to take out their Annihilape and deal enough damage to that Skarmory. Alright, here we got the Skeletur's. Skeletur's kind of decent against our team. Pretty good against our Annihilape with even energy, and this Shadow Gligar is not taking these flame charges and incinerates that well. Disarming Voice gets revealed. It would have done a decent amount of damage. We go for the dig here to either get the shield or get the KO. We do try to get to another Arrow Ace, but our opponent is able to time it well. We're going to have to let it go, switch into our Feraligatr right here. We know that they have a decent amount of energy, so we're going to have to let the first one go. They decide to switch out into the Lantern. So Lantern right here is going to be pretty tanky. We are going to shield the first one, ends up being the Thunderbolt. We're going to farm up a ton of energy, throw this Shadow Ball right before they get to their next move. It doesn't KO the Lantern, so they are going to be able to sneak in an extra move here. The Serve chips away at the health, and luckily, we have residual energy, and we can just throw another Night Slash here for the KO. And now we have to deal with this Venusaur. Venusaur here, unfortunately, is pretty tanky, and we're not going to be able to reach a crunch, and that is GG's for us. So unable to win that game right there. The Venusaur lurking in the back was pretty unfortunate for us. All right, we got the Shadow Gligar versus the Quagsire. In general, this is a pretty good matchup for us. They are indicating that they have Aqua Tail. There's the Aqua Tail, does some super effective damage, but we are able to survive it. We are going to be able to throw a move here. Let's see if we get a shield. We do grab that shield. Our opponent is able to get to another Aqua Tail fairly quickly. But this time we're going to let it go because we anticipate some kind of flyer in the back. So we just make a read. We're going to go into our Gligar here. There's the flyer. So we made the right call right there. They do come out with a lot of energy with our Annihilape. We throw the Shadow Ball. The Shadow Ball here, I don't know, did about 60%. We do shield the Arrow Ace just so that we can grab this Night Slash right here. Will this Night Slash take out this Mantine? No, but it forces our opponent to use some energy. There goes the Arrow Ace, and now we can farm down with the Feraligatr. Will the Feraligatr have enough energy and have enough shields to beat this backline? We know that they have this Skarmory still, and they still have the Quagsire. We know that we're going to have to shield here, so we do end up getting the shield. Our opponent here ends up trying to go for the big move, but we're going to snipe their energy right before they get to their move. We do have the back-to-back, and luckily we are able to CAP tie. This is going to KO the Quagsire, and now it's just a race. Can we get to the Hydro Cannon before they get to the move? And the answer is yes. And this is going to KO the Skarmory for the GGs. So nice play by us, using the Feraligatr to perfection right there, winning that game barely. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.